They say the most dangerous people aren't enemies. They are the ones who smile at you every day. This story didn't begin with anger, and it didn't begin with betrayal either. It began with trust, and that was the biggest mistake of my life. For years, everyone thought my life was perfect. Good job, stable income, respect in society. And her. She was always there, standing beside me, smiling, supporting, listening. At least that's what I believed. Her name was Isha. She came into my life quietly, like peace, soft voice, calm eyes, the kind of person who made you feel safe just by being around. People warned me, "Don't trust too easily," they said. "Not everyone is what they show." But I didn't listen. Because when someone holds your hand when you're at your weakest, you don't question their intentions. You hold on tighter. Years passed. We built a life together, not officially, not with papers or ceremonies, but with time, effort, and shared struggles. I supported her dreams, her career, her ambitions. When she failed, I stood beside her. When she succeeded, I celebrated louder than anyone. I never counted what I gave because love doesn't count. Or so I thought. Slowly, very slowly, things began to change. Not enough to cause alarm, just small shifts. Her phone always faced down. Her replies became shorter. Her eyes were present, but her mind wasn't. When I asked if something was wrong, she smiled. That same smile that made me doubt my own doubts. "You're overthinking," she'd say. "You worry too much." And I believed her. One evening, I came home earlier than usual, no warning, no message. The house was quiet, too quiet. Her bag was on the table, her shoes near the door, but she wasn't there. I called her phone. No answer. Once, twice, third time, rejected. That tight feeling in my chest, I ignored it. "She's probably busy," I told myself. I waited. Minutes felt like hours. Then the door opened. She walked in, smiling like nothing happened. "Where were you?" I asked calmly. She paused just for a second. "Work," she replied. One word, no explanation. And for the first time in years, that word didn't feel true. That night, I couldn't sleep. Her breathing was calm beside me, peaceful, while my mind was loud. Questions circled my thoughts. Why did she hesitate? Why avoid the call? Why did her smile feel rehearsed? But again, I said nothing. Because sometimes silence feels safer than answers. Weeks later, the truth started leaving cracks. A name appeared often on her phone, Samir. I noticed it accidentally. I didn't ask, not yet. I wanted to trust, but trust, once cracked, never feels the same. Then came the day that changed everything. A normal day, no warning, no sign. I was at work when a message popped up on my phone from an unknown number. Just one line, "You deserve to know the truth about her." My heart stopped. Who sent this? What truth? I replied, no response. Minutes later, another message arrived, this time with a photo. And in that moment, the world I believed in started falling apart. I stared at the photo for a long time. So long that my eyes started burning. It was her, Isha, sitting in a cafe I had never seen before. Her head slightly tilted, her smile real, not the polite one she gave me every day. And across from her, Samir. His hand rested on the table, close to hers, too close to be a coincidence, too comfortable to be just work. My heart didn't break loudly. It went silent, that kind of silence that scares you. I wanted to deny it. I wanted to believe there was an explanation, that the photo was old, that I was wrong. Because when you invest years into someone, your mind fights the truth before your heart accepts it. My phone buzzed again, another message from the same number. "This has been going on for years. You were never the only one." Years. That word hit harder than the photo. Years of smiles, years of promises, years of your overthinking. And all that time, I was the blind one. I didn't reply. I couldn't. My hands were shaking. I sat there, surrounded by people, yet completely alone. Every memory started replaying in my head with a different meaning now. Late nights, sudden plans, canceled promises. It all made sense. Too much sense. That night, while she slept, I made a decision. I wouldn't confront her, not yet. I wouldn't shout, I wouldn't beg, I wouldn't expose my pain. Because people who lie for years don't deserve emotional reactions. They deserve the truth, served cold. The man texting me, the one who said he was also lied to, his name was Rahil. He wasn't angry, he wasn't emotional. He sounded tired, like someone who had already lost and had nothing left to protect. "She's very careful," he told me. "She never lets the truth come out at once." That sentence stayed with me. Over the next few days, Rahil shared things slowly. He told me how he met her, different place, different time, but the same story. She said she was misunderstood. She said she was stuck in a life she didn't choose. She said she needed someone who truly saw her. The same words, the same script, just a different listener. Then came the part that made my hands go cold. She wasn't just with me, Rahil said. There were others too, others. Not one mistake, not one weakness, a pattern, for years. I felt sick, not because she betrayed me, but because she did it so easily, so calmly, like it meant nothing. I didn't confront her. I didn't cry. I didn't break down, because something else was happening inside me, something quiet, something dangerous. Clarity, from the outside, nothing changed. I still woke up early, still went to work, still asked her how her day was. I smiled when she smiled, listened when she spoke, and she relaxed. That was the dangerous part. When people think you know nothing, they show you everything. She became more careless. Calls lasted longer. Excuses became simpler. Her confidence grew. Because in her mind, I was still the same predictable man. The one who would never question too much, the one who would always forgive. She underestimated silence. I started documenting everything. Dates, times, patterns, nothing illegal, nothing dramatic, just truth. Truth has weight when it's organized. I spoke to Rahil regularly. We didn't talk about emotions anymore, we talked facts. Who said what, who promised whom, who benefited. Slowly, a clear picture formed. This wasn't a love triangle, it was manipulation. One night, Rahil asked me something important. What do you want from this? I thought for a moment. I want it to stop, I said. Not just for me, for everyone. Because people like her don't stop on their own. They move on to the next person. That's when the plan took shape. Not revenge fueled by rage, but exposure built on truth. No shouting, no public drama, just a mirror she wouldn't be able to escape. One evening, she said something that almost made me laugh. You trust me, right? She asked. I looked at her and answered honestly, I trust the truth. She smiled, thinking it was a joke. It wasn't. Weeks passed. Everything was ready, but timing matters. You don't reveal truth when people aren't ready to hear it. You wait until the lies start cracking on their own. And soon, they did. She came home angry one afternoon. Someone is spreading rumors about me, she said. I stayed calm. What kind of rumors? She hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. Because rumors don't scare honest people. Truth does. I knew the end was close, but the final move wasn't mine to make. It had to come from her own confidence, from her own mistake. And she was about to make it. That evening felt normal, too normal. She came home late as usual, dropped her bag, sat down like nothing was wrong. But her eyes were restless. She was nervous. People who live double lives are always tired of acting. I'm going out this weekend, she said casually, with friends. I nodded. Which friends? I asked gently. She hesitated, then named two people I knew she hadn't spoken to in months. The lie was weak. She was rushing. I didn't argue. I didn't question further. That gave her confidence, and confidence makes people reckless. Later that night, she got a call. She walked into the next room but forgot one thing. She didn't close the door fully. I didn't try to listen. I didn't have to. Her voice changed, soft, careful, intimate, the voice she never used with me anymore. I told you not now, she whispered. He's right here. Silence. Then, no, don't worry. He has no idea. That sentence ended everything. I didn't react. I didn't move. I just sat there, breathing slowly because the truth had finally spoken for itself. She came back smiling. All good? She asked. All good, I replied, because now there was no doubt left. The next morning she came home tired, quiet, avoiding my eyes. That was new, because confidence had finally left her. Can we talk? She asked. I looked at her calmly. Yes, I said. We can. Because the trap was closed and the truth was about to step into the light. She sat across from me, her hands folded, fingers tapping nervously. Her confident smile from days ago was gone. This was the first time I saw fear mixed with guilt in someone I had trusted completely. Sit down, I said calmly. No anger, no shouting, just calm. Silence can be louder than screams when the other person knows the truth. She hesitated, then sat slowly as if every movement cost her energy. I don't know where to start, she said, voice trembling. I nodded. Start from the beginning. Tell me everything. She swallowed hard, took a deep breath and began. She told me about Samir, about the other men, about the lies she had spun to keep everyone under her control. The excuses, the stories, the manipulations. Every word confirmed what I already knew. Every sentence stripped away what little respect I had left for her. I didn't interrupt. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I just listened calmly, patiently, because the worst punishment for a manipulator isn't rage. It's silence and a mind fully aware of every lie. When she paused, exhausted from her own confession, I spoke. Do you realize how long this went on? Years of trust used, years of love wasted. Her eyes welled up with tears. Not real ones, at least I wasn't sure, but tears that finally realized they couldn't hide the guilt. I didn't mean for it to happen like this, she stammered. I leaned forward, voice low but firm. Didn't mean. You meant every day you smiled, every time you whispered lies, every plan you made to keep everyone in your grip. She didn't reply. No excuse could survive that statement. I gave her one last chance. To make this right, you need to own everything. No lies, no excuses. You need to face everyone you hurt, not just me. Her hands trembled. Her jaw tightened. She realized that her control was gone. And for the first time in years, she felt powerless. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't yell. I just told her, you wanted to play games with people's lives. Now it's your turn to face the consequences. Not because I want revenge, but because truth cannot be ignored forever. The room stayed silent. Her tears fell quietly. But that silence was heavier than any anger could ever be. She had been exposed. Her carefully constructed world was collapsing around her. Later, I texted Rahil, "It's done, she's admitting everything." He replied instantly, "Finally, the truth always wins." And he was right, the truth doesn't yell. It doesn't fight. It quietly steps forward, and when it does, everything else falls away. After that confrontation, something shifted. She wasn't the same woman I once knew. Her confidence had vanished. Her charm had disappeared. Her laughter was forced, empty, hollow. She tried to act normal, tried to rebuild bridges with people she had lied to, tried to explain, tried to justify. But the truth had already spoken, and when truth speaks, lies don't get a second chance. Her apologies were meaningless because they weren't paired with honesty before. She had learned a hard lesson. Trust, once broken, leaves scars that neither charm nor lies can heal. I didn't celebrate her downfall. I didn't gloat. I observed quietly. Because revenge isn't about destroying someone. It's about standing tall while the truth quietly unravels their world. Weeks passed. She tried to rebuild her social image, but people whispered. She was no longer untouchable. The man she lied to for years, Rahil, moved on. He focused on his life, leaving her alone with the consequences of her choices. And me. I reclaimed my life, not by seeking revenge, but by walking away from everything that was toxic. Life doesn't hand out second chances for trust. Once someone betrays you, once they take advantage of your love and patience, the wound isn't just in the heart, it's in your soul. I learned through years of blind trust, small doubts I ignored, and finally, the shocking revelation of betrayal. But I also learned something more important. Revenge isn't about anger. It isn't about making someone pay in the moment. It's about clarity, patience, and letting the truth speak for itself. People who lie, cheat, and manipulate often believe they are untouchable. They underestimate the quiet ones, the patient ones, the ones who take the time to see the whole picture. And when the truth comes out, no amount of charm or apology can erase it. I realized I had two choices after discovering everything. To become bitter, to let anger control me, to let her lies define my future, or to rise above it, learn from it, and reclaim my life stronger than before. I chose the second. Some days, I still remember her smile, the one that hid years of deception. I remember how easy it was to be fooled and how painful it was to learn the truth. But those memories aren't chains. They are lessons. Reminders that trust is precious, that loyalty should never be one-sided, and that patience is more powerful than rage. I also learned to value the people who are genuine. Rahil, who had been hurt too, became a symbol of truth and resilience. We didn't become friends in the usual way. Our bond was forged in honesty, clarity, and shared experience. And that is priceless. As for her, she continued her life, trying to patch what she had broken, but nothing could replace the trust she destroyed. Nothing could erase the years of manipulation. And that is the harshest lesson of all. When you betray someone, it is not just a mistake, it's a choice. And choices have consequences. So what's the moral of this story? Trust wisely. Not everyone who smiles is kind. Not everyone who listens is loyal. Be patient before reacting. Revenge fueled by anger can blind you. Revenge built on truth is unstoppable. Truth always finds its way. Lies can survive for a time, but eventually the reality will emerge. Live for yourself, not for people who betray you. The strongest revenge is a life rebuilt with clarity, dignity, and peace. I look back now and feel no anger. Only clarity, only lessons learned, and only the knowledge that betrayal may hurt, but it cannot define who you become. Because in the end, life always balances itself. The betrayer loses control. The patient and the wise gain peace. And that is worth far more than revenge.